Bobbie, aka B Fine, aka Bobbie Fine of the infamous Funk Family and Blaque Spurm, and I'm on the illest podcast, the Oddcast podcast, with my man Gary Gnu. Peace.
So how did you meet the illustrious Mr. Styles?
Mr. Styles came. I got a deal. My first deal wasn't a record deal. My first deal was a publishing deal.
Okay.
Through this company called Warner Chappell and this company called SDM, Shankman de Blasio Molina. And a good friend of mine who works for ASCAP plugged me in with them and was like, look, I got this situation where you can sell a little bit of piece of your publishing. And you'll have access to all these studios. Warner Chappell's like one of the biggest publishing houses in the world. You have access to all these different studios. You can record your demos and do all your music and while you're trying to shop a deal. So I sold like a little small piece of my publishing, maybe like 10% of my publishing or something like that. Somehow he gassed me up to them like, this is gonna be the next dude. You need to get on him now. Mm-hmm. So I took my publishing deal, and then while I was doing that, I was working on shopping a record deal. So I was going back and forth to New York, and I ran into Dante Ross, and I was going to sign to Elektra. That was going to be my first deal.
Okay.
And that deal,
that's big.
Dante was just getting into Elektra. He had just signed, I think, Leaders. He had just signed Peach Fuzz. What's the cat that sing Peach Fuzz? KMD. Rest in peace.
MF Doom.
Doom, no doubt.
Right.
But he had just signed Doom in them.
Okay.
And he had me. I was kind of in the mix of him trying to get me signed. I just
so what did you present to him? What songs were on your demo?
I had a joint called I had a bunch of joints. I had pretty much recorded an album. So I had all the stuff that's on the Funk Family album. I had, but there's a couple of joints that's not on there. I had like On a Higher Level. I had On the Strip. There's a bunch of joints that's on that album. Okay. But they were all still kind of demo stage, you know, just going back and forth to Tony's and just going in and out of Epsilon, because I would spend time at Tony's writing, and then I would go to Epsilon.
Epsilon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Styles.
I did not remember. All I could tell him was Tom Zepp's studio.
Yeah.
The Zepster.
Okay, I've had a couple cats on here, man. Coach, YZ. Nobody can remember it. I think Outstanding might have remembered, but nobody can remember the name of this fucking studio, man. So for
Epsilon.
the record, Epsilon. Okay, damn.
That was the spot, man. That was the spot. I used to love that spot. That and what's the other one? Skylab. What was the name of the other one? Yeah. But
and where was that? That was in Jersey too, or the city?
That was remember when Wu-Tang moved to Jersey and he was kind of out near Hikestown, like in the bushes back in the back. It was back there. It was back there up there with them. Okay. Somewhere up in there.
All right.
But both of those studios was like two of my favorite studios to record in. But Epsilon, so I would go back and forth to Epsilon recording, and I think I met Styles when this girl that I was dating from Houston flew in to see me.
Okay.
And when she flew on to see me, her cousin was one of Styles' right-hand mans.
Okay.
So she was like, hey, do you know this guy named Rob? And I was like, nah. And I was like, I think he says he knows you. I was like, I don't know. You know, I'm bad with names, but, you know, so Styles came through with her cousin to the hotel we were staying at, because we were staying by Quaker Bridge Mall.
All right.
And Styles came in, and I didn't know who he was, but I knew of him, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then so she introduced us, and then we just clicked from the jump. And I don't know how soon we started recording together, but it was almost like, I don't even remember how the line of when we met, became homies, and then started recording. It just seemed like it all was like instantaneously. As soon as we started dapping it up, like we just started recording. But it was right around like 92.
Okay.
Like 92, yeah, sometime early 92.
All right. So was it, who did it start out with? Who were the original members of the Funk Family?
The original members are Mr. Styles, Cuba, L Black, Baby Chill, which is my brother Born.
Okay.
AWOL, DJ Drew, and I'm not missing nobody, right, Styles?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we wanted to be like an ensemble cast that would just break off and everybody would just eventually do their own, you know, thing, and then we just come back together.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like that was the vision of it.
All right. So who did you finally sign with?
A buddy of mine who was the vice president of ASCAP started his own label. And here's another crazy thing. His name is Jerry Davis.
Okay.
To this day, back in the day when this happened, he's the one that told me about what I'm about to tell you. But now he tells me that he never had this conversation with me. But
Okay.
his name is Jerry Davis.
Uh-huh.
So Jerry was the VP of ASCAP from in the early 90s, and he got a deal with Interscope, a distribution deal with Interscope to start this record label called Poetic Groove.
Poetic Groove. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who had the Poetess? They had the Poetess. They had Power Rule.
Okay.
They had a bunch of dope underground hip hop artists.
Almighty and KD.
Almighty and KD. We were like the last ones to sign. And he's actually the one that put me onto the publishing situation.
Okay.
So he signed us like last, and when he got that label started, when his distribution deal ended.
My bad.
When he lost his distribution deal, the day he moved out of his office, Death Row moved into his office.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
okay.
So Donnie Einer and I forget the other cat's name. It's a bunch of cats from Interscope that he did the deal with. They basically told him, you know, we appreciate you guys for bringing your, you know, backpack positive rap through, but you don't have to pay us any money back. You guys can just do your thing, but we're not going to distribute you guys no more. And literally the day after the day he was moving out of his office, Death Row was moving into his office.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's how we love. That's why that album never came out.
Did you talk about that on one of your song? Oh my God, what was the name of that song? I think I heard you talking about that on shit. Splendid. I feel splendid.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. I told you I've been listening to your shit, man.
Yeah. You gotta take them back to that Dante Ross little episode, man. You gotta take them back to that because that was like kind of like when I first really realized that how much gravitas you had at that point, man. Because I got to talk about that because we all, you know, we heard Dante Ross's name on albums, but
hell yeah, Dante the Scrub.
We were in the office. We were in the office with Busta and all them, Charlie Brown.
No doubt.
Wow. Okay.
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. And this is that.
Mention to you, G.
Yeah, and this was at the beginning stages. This is before I think this is before they even dropped that Leaders album.
Oh yeah.
That was right at the same time PTA came out.
Yeah, because we were going to the New Music Seminar back then.
Okay.
And
look, I'll take you back. Like when I first really like he said, I kind of was, you know, it kind of was like this seamless thing. But in the midst of that seamless time, I'm watching this dude go to places and take jokers' heads off.
Okay.
Yo.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought I could rhyme. You know, I was, you know, writing little rhymes and stuff like that. But I was like, this dude's an MC.
Yeah.
And I you know, I seen him at the mall, like all those days he's talking about. I'm up there with my little crew, and he's up there. And I mean, he's joking. Like, you couldn't tell they weren't on.
Yeah.
They had all the makings of somebody that was already doing it on a higher scale. So
yeah, that's that PRB, and I just skipped past all of those days that we used to go to PRB.
Man, because y'all shit was like they used to play your songs all the time, man, on PRB, yo. Did y'all used to go up there and rhyme too, right?
No doubt. Well, once we got kind of polished, we were getting kind of polished, was around the time period that Styles is talking about when I started going to New York. Like heavy, trying to shop us a deal. I would try to fly. I would be flying from, and mind you, I'm doing this all on the shoestring budget at the time because, you know, family situation was kind of crazy. So I'm basically living out of my suitcase, flying between, you know, Houston, LA, Jersey, New York. You know what I mean? At the time, I think I was living in East New York.
Wow.
Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would catch the train into the city, shop my demos, and then go back to East New York or come to Jersey, and I did that for a minute until we got the deal. But yeah, that PRB was like our boot camp. That was training ground for just getting the pen game up, the battle game up, because it was always spitters up there. It was always at least 6 or 7 other dudes, you know what I mean, like ready.
Yeah.
And then you had to play your songs on top of being like freestyling, because Tonin would always bring the mics out and be like, who's rhyming? Who's rhyming?
Right.
Law and Rozzy would be up there, you know what I mean? So yeah, that kept us super, super, super sharp going to PRB.
Real.
I bet.
Like,
Yeah. So by the time we started getting in front of labels, they were like these niggas is ready. You know what I mean? Like Dante was super impressed with us because I think he looked at us like, where did these niggas come from? And their shit sounds good. Like we would be in the studio, we would do 4 or 5 songs like it was nothing, like full hooks, choruses. I remember one time that the Fushniggins came to the studio with us, and Chip was just like, how many songs y'all did today? We was like 5. Like, y'all mixed them and everything? We was like, yeah. He was like, nigga, we be writing in the studio. Like, he was like, we write in it. I was like, nah, we don't do none of that. We come here ready. We come here rhymes
right before,
verses ready, everything ready.
Yeah.
Because he had a big budget. They was on jobs, so they could do that kind of stuff. But he was just so impressed with like the fact that we was just knocking out joints like it was nothing.
Right.
But
true.
And another thing, Styles, man. I had no idea that you rhymed and shit. Like I knew you was fucking with with music and all that, and I thought that you were more of a behind the scenes kind of person. Like somebody that's like moving and shaking, putting shit together. Yeah. But then when I'm listening to the Funk Family album and I heard this voice, I was like, yo, that's fucking Styles right there. So and I remember seeing the the album cover. I want to bring that up and shit real quick if I could, man. There it is.
There we go. So young boy.
We got Mr. Styles.
No doubt.
We got Bobbie Fine. I know that's Cuba right there.
No
who's this right here?
That's Papa Doc with the cowboy hat on.
Okay. And who is this?
That's Jay Knapp.
Okay.
From Queens. Doc is from Philly. Jay Knapp is from Queens.
What's good, brothers?
Right. So how'd you put all these guys together, man? Like, how did all this form, man?
Well, after Poetic Groove lost their distribution deal, I got to get back out and start shopping another deal. So while I was doing that, my brother Bourne was kind of working on music, and I think he was about to sign with Hush because YZ had started a management company called 720. So he was managing me, Chill, and a bunch of other artists. Okay. So we were going back and forth to New York again, trying to shop new music, trying to get another deal. And while we were doing that, Bourne was recording he was recording an album, and one of the songs he had on the album was called Blaque Spurm. Okay. And I did like the intro and like some talking through the song, and I was like, that'd be a dope name for a group, but we'll just spell it different. So that's kind of how we started Blaque Spurm. Styles was always
you gotta jump in the head though, because you ain't talking about Fruit Punch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no doubt. Well, I mean, when we had the deal with Poetic Groove, like we recorded a full album. We recorded all those joints, Fruit Punch, all of those joints we recorded prior to getting that deal. And while we were with that deal, we wound up recording those songs over again. And we were ready to drop the album. I think we dropped The Noxnall Rhymin', Jism, On the Strip, and it was one other.
The other Grizz joint.
Grit, yeah, no doubt. Which joint was that? No, I'm talking about for the Folk Family joint.
Oh, I thought it was.
I'm stepping ahead. Oh no, when we did the Funk Family joint, we dropped Think Before You Step.
Okay.
We dropped damn, I can't remember those singles.
Anyway, I remember hearing Lose Them on the radio.
Yeah. We dropped Lose Them, Think Before You Step, and then after that I dropped Anyway. I went to LA And I started going to LA and I started messing with the Baker Boys.
Okay.
And then we did Anyway. So that kind of set us up for after that label kind of got disbanded, because once they lost their distribution deal,
so that album never came out. Then is what you're saying.
It just never came out. We dropped the singles.
Yeah,
because we dropped those singles.
So what were the 2 singles again?
Yeah, the first single was Think Before You Step, and I can't remember what the A side was. But that's the ones that we used to bang at PRB all the time.
Oh, because I thought Fruit Punch was a single.
It might have been on that scene. It might have been on that 12
inch. I remember like that shit being on like Pound 99 type shit, bro.
It might have been on that 12 inch, but it was like 3. You know, back in the day, you used to have like 3 or 4 joints.
Yeah. Like singles was the thing back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally different from now and shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what was your I wanted to ask you, man, you know, what was your whole concept behind the song Fruit Punch? You know what I'm saying?
Because everybody I was around like smoke and drink. And I was the only one that I was the only one that didn't drink.
Right.
Smoke.
Right.
So I would always fuck with them when I'd be in the studio, and I would always write songs and talk about shit that I know that all of them niggas was doing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just to be kind of a dick, but just also to be like, just being myself. You know what I mean? Because any one of them, if somebody would come up to me and offer me a drink, they would be like, nah, he don't drink. I wouldn't even have to say nothing half the time, because most of my niggas would just be like, nah, he don't smoke. He good. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it was like a play on. It was just like an inside thing for my niggas, just to be like, you know, y'all drinking that, I'm drinking this. You know what I mean? So yeah. So then Tone, when we went in the studio, Tone was the one that kind of did the play on, like me saying, they were like throwing little different drugs at me that I didn't really know.
How about this Wooly?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Strictly Fruit Punch.
So it became like that, it always became that little joke between everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, man, your flow, man, back then was like really like rapid fire, man. Like who was your influence at that time, man? Because like your shit was really hyper. It was in pocket, but you like your shit was like, you was really on that fast, rapid rap, fast rap type of flow. You know what I'm saying?
Wise. I could tell you, Wise is probably one of my top 10. Wise Intelligence is in my top 10.
That's what's up.
I don't go by the sales and all that shit. I go by the niggas that inspired me and the niggas that made me. Z and Wise, those are 2 people that once I got past my childhood adolescent stage of being in awe of like Almighty and KD and those cats from Trenton that I just thought was super, super dope. Those are the cats that I could actually touch. Like we were going to the same studios and so those became the guys that I kind of looked at. And Wise's flow influenced my style a lot back then. Because I always looked at him and was like, damn, he's dope. He's ill with it. He always switching up styles and switching up, cadences, and he's just ill. So yeah, for sure.